I'm Denise Johnson. We have been a member of Council Road for 20 plus years. I am the president and CEO of a large insurance association. I run 7 corporations with 4 boards of directors. And to say that control is a really important thing to me is probably an understatement. And so it was such a shock whenever my year of 2020 and 2021 completely fell apart. In September of 2020, after we had just gone through a little bump with COVID, I was late getting my regular mammogram. And as I was in the room, I had the radiologist came in and said, "Hey, I think we need to talk." He did about 4 biopsies. The last biopsy ended up being HER2 positive cancer, which is a metastatic breast cancer. By October of 2020, I was scheduled for a full radical double mastectomy, and by early December, I had a port and I was already starting chemotherapy. So whenever I put myself on the prayer list, it was really just to be on the prayer list and for someone to continue. Well, at that point, our class kicked into gear. And so when I was having surgery, which was going to be 6 weeks of a very difficult situation, I got a call from Jan and Jarla and so many, and they said, "Okay, we're going to set up dinners." And I was like, "No, don't worry about anything. I am fine. It's going to be fine." And they kind of laughed and they said, "You might think you're fine, but we're going to take care of you." It was at that point during that 6 and 8 weeks that I was having multiple surgeries that they were bringing us dinner, check in constantly. We were actually meeting by that time. We were meeting online with our class. So we heard a Sunday school lesson. We never got to miss really any of our classes because we were all meeting online. So whenever I got to early December, I had finished surgery, and then my oncologist had set me up for a long bout of chemotherapy. So from the 1st of December, for the next 12 weeks, I had weekly chemotherapy. That was also during COVID. There was not an opportunity for anyone to go with me. I had to do it all by myself, because they didn't allow anyone in the facility for you. They didn't allow anyone to come in, so it was quite lonely. And all during the time, I would have so many of my friends, so many of our class that would just reach out. Well, by the end of January, I actually have a staff of 10 that I work with that I really, really enjoy. I lost one of them due to an illness that suddenly failed her, and we lost an employee. And it was just heartbreaking. Very quickly after that, my brother was suddenly not feeling well and had gone to the emergency room and found out that he had a melanoma that had metastasized in his brain, in his liver, and in his lungs. And unfortunately, 30 days later, we lost him. During that, I was still in chemotherapy. I was just as weak as you can imagine. And then both of my parents got very, very ill. And we realized by then that we needed to put them in an assisted living facilities. And I thought, how am I ever going to do this? So during that time, whenever I had so many of my class members that were reaching out, checking on me, sending me cards all the time, it's so funny. I said, I have a goal by summer that I get myself off the prayer list, because I'd been on it so much that I felt like it was like cemented into the list. So they continued to pray. They continued to encourage me. It was through the next summer we did a women's Bible study. They encouraged me. They told me I was beautiful. They made me brave, because they felt that by upholding me, it made me stronger. And I never knew how weak I had felt until I was with someone that made me feel a lot better. It's amazing how God just surrounds you with exactly the people that you need at exactly the right time that's going to make you better. So I finished chemo in November of last year. I have been cancer-free since then. Have a very good diagnosis going forward. Still recovering from poison in my system for almost a year. But I am so thankful to a class that stepped up. No one knew what they were doing. No one told them they had to do it. But every one of them in different ways have been the most encouraging, supportive group that I have ever felt with. So I have completely, I think I realized for the first time that sometimes if you don't know, or you're thinking, I don't know if I should be involved in a connection class, this is the reason. It may not be people that you're super good friends with, but sometimes we just step up whenever the need arises. So I would encourage you, find a group to be involved with, find a group that you can connect with, because it literally is life-changing. And as you go forward, they're the ones that are going to help you in any situation that you may have. Group life works.